Hi there, I'm Mary Susie from Be To Me a Story, and today I'm going to show you how to make a kinged Vipera Berus. I'm doing a whole series on Vipera Berus, mainly because I want to get you to one special project that I have in store. So that's why I'm kind of showing you a bunch of different versions of this that you can practice from. You can make them for different people. This one is a much chunkier version than the one that I showed you before. I'll just show you a contrast in size. Okay, so this one was the 5/32, and this is the kinged 18 gauge 1/4 inch jump ring. Okay, so this makes a beautiful weave, very sporty looking bracelet, nice and chunky, good one for men and women alike. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you're someone who's ready to do a kinged Vipera Berus, then you're somebody who certainly doesn't need me to show you how to make a 2x2 chain. But I just want to point this out. This is 2x2x2x2x2 all the way down. Okay, I'm going to be using 5 different colors. I'm choosing an odd number of colors so that as things lean to one side or the other side, that number alternates. So for example, when you see gunmetal at the beginning and it leans one way, the next time I use it, it's going to lean in the opposite direction. So that's what you're going to get by using odd colors. You'll notice this is a very vibrant color mix. And, you know, just to talk a little bit about color, when you're using color in your work and you're making jewelry, okay, you'll notice that I included some gunmetal in here, and I'm also including some gold, okay? So I don't need that to be the entire base of my piece for it to work with the clasps that I have. Obviously, it's easiest to get your findings in gunmetal, gold, silver. I know I have some in antique copper and antique bronze. And then once you go beyond that, it is hard to get colors. And it's really hard to get colors that match up exactly to this lemon lime color or this orchid color. Okay, so if you just include a little bit, that's sufficient. The other guide you want to use is that I'm using matte green as my background color. Okay, so you can see that this is a darker color. And when I put the colors up next to it, okay, if I use gold, that's really going to pop off the piece and you're really going to notice the clasps. But if I use this gunmetal, you can see this is a nice dark hue, just like the green is. Okay, so a lot of times if I'm doing dark colors, then I'm going to use gunmetal findings. I also have black findings, by the way, so if it's dark enough, I might go with black. And then if I'm doing light colors, then most often I'm using gold or silver. And I just need a little bit of gold or silver contrast in the piece in order to carry that through. You don't have to make your entire base just, you know, just a metal color all the time. And that's what I see a lot. I don't see a lot of, I'd love to see more experimentation with color from artists and really going for it with the colors. And so anyway, we're gonna go for it here. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. This is a new color choice that I made, and I think it'll be really neat. How a color palette looks depends on the design of the piece. So this may turn out to be too chunky to really give me the iridescent quality that I'm looking for. But it's a pretty color combination, so we'll just go for it and we'll see what happens. If I find a color combination that I love, then I use it again and again and again in some other pieces and try it out. If I don't like it, you know what? It was just one bracelet, so not a big deal. Okay, so kinged Vipera Berus. So we're going to approach this just like we have been approaching Vipera Berus, and I also had a double cloud cover video out there, okay? So you can review these other 2 videos as well. But basically, I'm going to look at the first 4 rings to start this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of rings. And I'm going to go from right to left through the 3rd row And then I also want to go right to left through the first row. And in order to do that, I'm going to use my paper clip that I have attached to, and I'm going to rotate this clockwise, okay, in order to get my ring to come back through here. So I'm going to start out with the gunmetal. Okay, right to left. And then I'm going to turn my paper clip. And I'm basically flipping it to the back. But that's going to allow me to get through that just the way I want to. I think I made that worse. See how I overlap when I close my rings and then I bring it back? And you might also notice in my videos a lot of time I feel it to see if it's in place right. Okay, the other thing I forgot to mention is I know that on the front side, see how this top part of the paper clip is pushed back and the small part is forward? If I just remember that that is the front and back, that's going to help me to make sure that I'm on the right side of the piece as I'm working. I'm going to turn this around. Okay, so that's the first two I want to add. You can see those are sitting on the right hand side. Okay, so I'm going to flip my work over so that I can continue to work on the right hand side. Okay, and now I'm going to be working with rings for the fourth row and the second row. Okay, so I'm going to pass right to left through here, and then I'm just going to shoot up from front to back through this pair of rings. Again, I'm still using gunmetal on this row. Okay, so right to left and front to back. Okay, and you notice I just put the, it was real easy for me to put a second one through there. Okay, just through the same holes. The second ring is just always going to sit parallel to the first ring that I applied. So we're doubling everything. You notice my center row was doubled. Okay, so now I am back on the front again. Okay, so I flipped this back to the front side. So you can see I started here, that was my first one, and then this is my next one. So as we work down the piece, we're always going to shoot for, we're always going to decide which side we should be on based on the high side. So this is the high side, this is the low side. Okay, so that tells me I want to work with this set of rings first, and then I'll flip it to the back side and work with this other side of rings. Okay, so we are going to bring in our lemon lime green now. And this is where this changes. So now we're going to be, we've used our first four, okay, and we've produced one unit of double cloud cover. Now we want to move into doing Vipera Berus, okay? So I'm always using the next pair of rings down, okay? Not this pair, because this has the gunmetal rings coming through it, so that has a color. It's been used. This is my next pair of rings down that hasn't been used at all. Okay, so I'm going to pass from right to left, and then I'm actually going to do the same thing as I just did on the back. Right to left, and then I'm going to shoot down into the hole that's between these two gunmetal and these two green right here. Okay, so I need to go through both of those. Okay, right to left, and then shoot down through the back. Okay, and see how I went through both the gunmetal and the green here? That's the goal. Okay, you notice I put my second one just next to the first one. No big deal. It's always easy to get that second one through. Okay, now I'm on the back side of the piece. So this is my next pair of rings, and then I'm going to pass through these rings here. Okay, so you can see this is my low side, this is my high side on the right. So I'll take another lime green, right to left, and I'm going to shoot down through both the gunmetal and the green. The other thing I'll mention is these are rather large jump rings and pretty skinny, so that's why I take a little extra care in closing them. They don't meet up quite perfectly. Okay, same thing, right to left, shoot back down through these, making sure I'm not crisscrossing through my other one that I already applied. Okay, so that's my lemon lime row. Okay, gunmetal, lemon lime. All right, so now I'm going to flip this back to the front again. And the next color I'm applying is this rose pink. Okay, so again, we're going right to left through here. Now this is where things are going to change. On row 3, in order to create a basket weave kind of configuration, we're going to go right to left through here, and we want to go right to left down through these 2 rings. So I'm coming in through the lime and this pair of green rings and shooting to the back, but I want to do it from the outside to the inside. Okay. So here we go. Okay, right to left, and then also right to left here. So I'm going to turn the work so that I can get through. Okay, see how I went through both the green and the lemon lime? And I turned my work to do that. Okay, and then this one is just going to mimic it. So just make sure you don't cross. Whenever you're doing king patterns, make sure you're never crossing through that other ring that's there. Okay, flip into the back side. Right to left, and again from the outside to the inside. Okay, so through there. Okay, and then my second one is going to go through the same path. Okay, outside to inside, same thing. Okay, so my next row, which is going to be gold, I'm going to, first of all, let's flip this to the correct side. You can see This is my high side, so that needs to be on the right-hand side. Okay, going right to left. And then this time I'm coming back and I'm gonna shoot from inside to outside, or from front to back, but from the inside to the outside again. So that's what we're gonna be doing from now on, is we're alternating. 2 rows are gonna go inside to outside, and then the next 2 rows are gonna go outside to inside, and that's what creates that basket weave formation, those alternating slants that we see in the Vipera Berus. Okay, flip it over. Get another couple gold out for myself. Okay, right to left. And then through from the inside to the outside. So through the pink and through the green. And then this one's just gonna mimic it. Okay, so through the pink and the green again, and close. Okay, so this isn't hard, and you can see, I mean, we are only gonna be able to do this band with this particular size, but this chunkier version is really, really pretty, and doubling your rings, doing a kinged version of anything, usually is very, very pretty. Gives you a little bit more texture to the piece. Okay, now we're gonna do our final, our orchid purple color, right to left. And now we're coming from the outside to the inside again. Okay, alternating every 2 rows. Okay, when I do the second one, I can just kind of go back to front and then shoot down through here as well. Okay, I'm gonna flip to the other side. Going right to left, and then outside to inside. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my work to get from the outside to the inside. Okay, so this is all there is to it. I'm gonna let you work on your own, and I will come back just to show you how to do the clasps on this, and you'll be able to see how well that gunmetal does on the ends of this, as far as blending in with the colors. Still deciding whether I like this. I think I do. Never really know till I get it finished. Okay, I'll let you see that. And that's where we're at. Okay, so we're just gonna continue on. I'm gonna flip this to the other side. Next row, I'm going right to left, and I'm going from inside to outside. Then I'll flip it over, right to left, inside to outside. We'll be going through this one here. And then on the row after that, we'll be going from outside to inside again. Okay, so you're just alternating back and forth with this as you go along. Okay, so I've finished the length of this Kinged Vipera Berus. I like it. Looks a little bit different than I thought, but that's how colors work. You know, you just have to keep experimenting with them and see what happens. And sometimes it's fantastic, sometimes it's good, and ever so often it doesn't work out. Okay, so I just took the paper clip off this. All I'm going to do for the end is I'm going to go ahead and take a much smaller 18 gauge 5/32 jump ring and connect it to this end. I want a much smaller jump ring so I can tighten up these end rings and they're not going to be moving around a lot. Okay, so, and see the gunmetal on there, how it just blends really nicely. Got gunmetal on the end, so it matches really well. And then on the other end, we're just gonna add 2 of these small jump rings. One to kind of cinch these rings together, and the other one to be able to link to. Okay, so hopefully you can see here that this is a much chunkier version of this band than the one that I did for you in the 18 gauge 5/32. That's kind of a more delicate, sleek little band. This one is nice and chunky, much sportier looking. Okay. All of these supplies are available at beadmeastory.com, and please make sure to like and follow me on YouTube. Thanks so much.